Ladies and gentlemen, can we have your attention, please? We are going to have a flag raising ceremony. If you direct your attention behind you, please rise. Firefighter Russell Beeson and firefighter Kevin Kabala will be the two members that will be raising the flag. We are now going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. Please welcome Mark O'Brien to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the new Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company Brightwood Fire Station. This has been a long journey for us. It's been a exciting journey for us, but I'm not going to say a lot on that right now because there's a lot of people behind me that want to say a lot about this, so we're going to give them an opportunity to speak first. We're going to begin, though, with the blessing of the building, and our firefighter chaplain, Joe Campion, will give that blessing.
When I was asked to do this by the chief. I can't think of a better person, rather than myself, than a gentleman that on September 10th, 2001, gave a blessing to the New York Fire Department. He was their chaplain, Father Michael Judge. And it is my honor, and I'm humbled, to share the thoughts, very briefly, of his remarks to the firemen and the community in New York at the opening of Engine 73 and Ladder 42 in the Bronx, New York. Within 24 hours, we, of course, had the terrible tragedy, and he was counted as among one of the many folks that lost their lives. He states, "Good morning, everyone. We come to this house this morning to celebrate renewal, rejuvenation, new life. We come to thank God for the blessings over all the years, the good work that's been done here. We can never thank God enough for the reality of our lives. So standing in his presence this morning, and truly this is a chapel, let us pause for a moment, perhaps, close our eyes, and thank God for the special blessings we have living in the United States. Thank you, Lord, for life. Thank you, Lord, for love. Thank you for goodness. Thank you for work. Thank you for family. Thank you for friends. Thank you for every gift, which we know every gift comes from you, and without you, we are nothing. So as we celebrate this very special day, we give thanksgiving to you. Keep our hearts and minds open. Let us enjoy each other's company, and most of all, let us be conscious of your presence in our lives, and in a very special way, the lives of all those who have gone before us. And Father, we make this prayer as always, in Jesus' name, who lives with you forever." That's the way it is. Good days, bad days, up days, down days, sad days, happy days, but never a boring day on this job as a firefighter. You do what God has called you to do. You show up. You put one foot in front of the other. You get on that rig, and you go out and you do the job, which is a mystery and a surprise. And you have no idea when you get on that rig, no matter how big the call, no matter how small, you have no idea what God is calling you to do. But he needs you. He needs me. He needs all of us. The retirees, here in Bethel Park, we call them the life members. He needs your prayers. He needs your stopping by occasionally to give strength and support and to tell the stories of the old days. We need the house. And to those of you that are working now that are active firefighters, keep supporting each other. Be kind to each other. Love each other. What great people. We love this job as firefighters. We all do. What a blessing that is. A difficult, difficult job God calls you to do, and then he gives you a love for it so that a difficult job will be done well. Isn't he a wonderful God? On this very special day, I would ask kindly that we think always of the presence of the fire department and all the men that have gone before us in Bethel Park and all those that have sacrificed their life for serving others. We thank you, God, for the gift that you've given us to serve others. Amen. And may God bless all those that have put a hand in building this today, the architects, those of vision, the builders, and may each of us respond to the call and give strength to those when they need us most. Amen.
Thank you, Joe. Okay, our comments are going to begin now with President of the Fire Company, David DiLello.
When you join the fire service and you go through all of your training, they teach you and prepare you for a lot of different things. One thing that they don't prepare you for is the amount of thank yous that you will receive in the fire service. And be it a fire call, a community service function, or a parade, we are constantly being told thank you. So it's my honor and privilege today to turn around and say thank you to, first of all, the Bethel Park Council, led by Tim Mowry. A couple years ago, we met with them and partnered up with them, and they provided insight and guidance on how this project could get started and helped us through until today, the completion. And we thank them very much. Also, would like to say thank you to all of the contractors, everyone, the architects that helped to build the building. But most importantly, I would like to say thank you to the community. 3 years ago in May, we went to the community and we asked if you would support us, and support us not today, not 5 years from now, but far into the future with the building of this building. And overwhelmingly, the community supported us, and they voted to make sure that we had a dedicated fund so that we could continue to provide the high level of service that you'd come to know from us. With the referendum and the fire tax that was started that day, we just started on the journey. The completion of this building today certainly does not end the relationship with the community. It's simply the beginning. We continue to need your support, and it goes beyond monetary funds. What we need are volunteers. The fire service as a whole, and Bethel Park is not immune to this, is facing dwindling membership and volunteer. We need people to come and volunteer with us. If you've ever thought about it, or if you've ever contemplated it at all, find a firefighter today that'd be more than happy to explain the process. We would love to have you here. We would love to share this building with you, and we would love to get dressed next to you in this uniform and the other uniforms and have you join us. That's all I have.
Thank you, David. Our next speaker will be our Fire Chief, David Gerber.
Good morning. Thanks, everyone, for coming out and sharing this fantastic day with us. It's been a long time coming. This project has been a long time in the making. There was talk of a new building when I joined the fire company in 2003. It didn't get anywhere. Our funding's always a problem with everything. But in 2010, the fire company decided that something had to be done. And we approached the municipality and explained that the building that we were in was close to 60 years old and slowly falling apart, and we needed help building a new one. They listened. Local leaders, council, and staff helped to take our message out to the public, and in 2013, you, the residents of Bethel Park, overwhelmingly voted yes to a dedicated tax to help pay for this beautiful building sitting behind me here today. On March 3rd, 2014, at 9:16 p.m., the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company's Brightwood Station that sat in this exact location that we are in was temporarily relocated up the street to Kiefer Coal and Supply on West Library Avenue, next to the police station. We've been out of the old Brightwood Station now for 839 days. And it hasn't been very easy, excuse me. We ran 980 calls out of that station during that time, but that's exactly what it is. It's just a garage. Our other two stations had makeshift offices for the guys to pay bills and do the work they needed to be done. A lot of business from my end of it got ran out of a 2011 Explorer that's sitting out back, unfortunately. The new station that we're sitting here in front of has storage rooms for gear and hose. It will have a room and to wash and clean the turnout gear and hose. It has a room dedicated for radio equipment and pagers. It will have a vehicle exhaust removal system, so every time the vehicles get started, the engine bay exhaust is removed instead of filling the garage with diesel fumes. This new station will have overnight facilities to provide firefighters with a place to rest when they're on standby for major calls and emergencies. In the old building, I spent several nights sleeping on old couches that were donated by members in the past. In today's fire service, there are more and more problems that firefighters need to be prepared for. The new facility has a 600-foot, three-story training tower sitting directly behind me. This tower will help our members get the hands-on training that they need and help to ensure that the Bethel Park residents have the highest trained firefighters possible. We believe that in this new building, it will help in our recruitment efforts for new firefighters as well, as provide the highest level of fire rescue services possible for you, the residents of Bethel Park, for the next 50 to 75 years. As David just mentioned, we owe an awful lot of thanks to an awful lot of people, and at this point I can't even begin to go. If I miss anybody, I apologize, but we'll give it a shot. We'll start off with Municipal Council and Tim Mowry. First time we met with them, they sat down and they listened to us. As many people have said, they're not going to listen, don't even bother going up. Before we originally met with them in 2010, we kind of kept down here, they kind of kept up there. We didn't bother with each other. When we sat down and talked to them, we got their ear and must have said the right message because they listened in. By overwhelmingly helped us out. When we started this project, we never thought we got what we have standing here behind us. Municipal staff also played a big role. Jerry Duke and his staff, Susie Dolinar, I know we've seen down here all the time during construction. We appreciate all that she's done. Big thanks to the neighbors. Bethel Bakery beside us. They put up with all of our dirt and construction mess. The neighbors on either side of us. At one point, if anybody used to pass here, we were standing on top of what was a 17-foot hole so that they could get the ground stabilized and stuff. Between the noise and the mess and all, they deserve kudos for putting up with all of us. The architects, David Pacheco and Dennis Ross from New York, you guys did a fantastic job. Once again, we gave them a list of what we wanted for rooms, and now to see the finished product, you know, it's absolutely fantastic. I guess this is beyond our wildest dreams. Well, the other local leaders that we have, everybody was very supportive, helped pass our message out. Especially want to thank the residents of Bethel Park. You voted so that we could build this overwhelmingly. It was over 70% when we put out the referendum to have the fire tax to build this. And the person I want to thank more than anything is my wife. As you know, we're all volunteers. We don't get paid for this. There's many nights that she runs my kids around. I got 4 kids, 3, 4, 7, and 17. She puts up with them while I'm here playing fireman and fire chief. She's the one that gives the most thanks out of this, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be standing here today and be able to do what we did here. So with that, just want to thank everybody once again, and we appreciate everybody's help. Thank you.
Before we move on to the other dignitaries that are here, would like to say a word. The fire company had a large hand, obviously, in making sure that the building was built to a standard of today. We had a building committee that was myself, and I'm the recording secretary for the fire company. My name's Ed Schmidt. We also had the fire chief, which is Dave Gerber, on that committee. We have William Lyles, who's sitting back here. He's our treasurer, and he was on the committee. And then we have Jeff Goethe. He's a director in the fire company. And in addition to that, there were a lot of other members that had a huge hand in making sure that the building was put together properly. Of course, we worked closely with the municipal workers, and especially you heard Susan Dolinar's name mentioned. She was our contact pretty much between us and the municipality, and again, the contractor and the architect, who were just phenomenal to work with. Within our fire company, though, we have folks that we had subcommittees, and as you walk through this building, you'll see that they had their hand in a lot of this. Folks such as John Marks, and Russ Beeson, who worked very hard. Lee Zamborski, on the fitness room that we have. You have Jeff Forensic, who works closely with our treasurer. He's our financial secretary. Nothing gets paid unless he writes the checks. So thank him. We have Greg Pahodich and John Kuchma, and Jason Jeanette. Hopefully I don't miss anybody, but these guys were instrumental in making sure that we have the internet and communications throughout the building. Without them, we'd just be yelling at each other. And again, numerous amounts of other people who had their hands in this. Almost every firefighter we had something to do with this. So I just, I don't say a lot to them. We just kind of do what we do, and we expect it to be done. But they deserve a ton of thanks for what they've done in making sure this building was put together, and not only for today, but for the future as well. So with that, thank you. Thank these guys back here. Thank you, sir. All right, with that, we're going to move on, and we have the Pennsylvania State Fire Commissioner, Tim Solobay. And I must say, Tim, we're fortunate enough to, he's from Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, my original hometown. So, Tim, if you don't mind, welcome.
Good morning, everyone, and what a beautiful day the Lord has presented us with today on a very great occasion as this. And I did talk to the rest of the colleagues behind me that, especially for those of you in the sun, we got to keep this real short so you don't fry out there. But wow, what a beautiful structure. You know, in my position, I get the opportunity to travel around the state to look and see all types of facilities that firefighters are dealing with. And I got to tell you, the folks here in Bethel Park, you have quite a showpiece to look at and to be very, very proud of. But you know, it's not the building or the equipment that really makes what a fire department's about. It's the men and women that are sitting to your right that are the true fire department of this community and any community across the Commonwealth. And as you heard from the president and the chief, it's tough out there right now to get folks to even want to consider doing this. But you need to realize what the importance of having a volunteer fire department in your community means. Across the entire Commonwealth, the volunteer fire service saves Pennsylvania taxpayers over $10 billion a year by the services they provide. And even though we appreciate what the mayor council has done for this community, and especially you, the residents, in the enacting of the fire tax, just think about the fact if these men and women decided, you know what, we're done, we're not getting the support, we're not getting the help, which obviously you've shown very well that you can do, it could mean another $3, $4, maybe $5 million in your local taxes to do it. So kudos to the mayor. Kudos especially also to council that led the charge and worked with the fire department, and as well as all of you, especially kudos to the residents of this great community that have allowed for this to occur with your financial support. Please continue to keep that up, because the alternative I don't think you want to face. So congratulations to everyone involved to make today the day it is. What a beautiful building, what a beautiful facility, and I'm very honored to be here with everybody.
Thank you, Commissioner Solobay. Our next speaker is the Honorable Mayor Jack Allen of Bethel Park.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for coming here today on this great day for Bethel Park. This place will be the centerpiece of the community for years to come. And I want to thank all the people that made this dream come true for the fire department. And like Tim mentioned, I want to give a round of applause to those men and women over there, because without them, we wouldn't want the consequences. And I again also want to thank the residents of Bethel Park for the positive vote. But I really want to especially thank Council President Tim Meyer, because he put more work into this building with the fire department than anyone else, and he went way above his call of duty. So thank you, Tim. And as I mentioned in my report last Monday on the state of the municipality, Bethel Park continues to move forward, and this building demonstrates our commitment to the citizens of Bethel Park. So thank you for coming here today. Enjoy the festivities and the rest of the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our next speaker is the Council President, Timothy Mowry.
Thank you, Ed. I certainly will be brief. This journey for us started back in 2010. I've heard more nice things said about me today in the last few minutes than I had in the last several years. Truly was a journey. We learned a lot. We learned a lot about the fire department. I want to thank Municipal Council for their support. We learned a lot about each other. And we tried to explain to the community what we wanted and what we needed, and they responded. So thank you to the community for your support in the referendum. And most of all, thank you to the firemen and women who serve us, who volunteer their time every day to keep our homes and our residents safe. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mowry. Our next speaker will be Congressman Tim Murphy.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you to everybody who's been part of this project. Thank you to the firemen, the sacrifices, their families. Thank you to the families. Thank you to the Bethel Park elected officials for all they've done. And I'm sure all of you will join me in a tremendous thank you for all the elected officials who speak shorter than me. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman. Our next speaker is the newly elected Senator Guy Rushenthaler. Something close to that.
It's certainly hard to beat Congressman Murphy at that. I just want to say it's an honor to be here with all the folks that worked so hard to make today possible, and it's a really proud day for Bethel Park. So thank you.
Thank you, Senator. All right, our next speaker, State Representative John Marr.
Back at the birth of our nation in colonial times, yeah, this occasion deserves more than a quick thought. But Ben Franklin, who served in the Pennsylvania General Assembly, came up with the idea of volunteer fire companies. And at that time, everybody pretty much worked, lived, and played within walking distance of the spots. And the volunteer fire companies came together, but our lives today bear almost no resemblance to what the day-to-day life was back then. Yet, volunteer fire companies endure. But it's a challenge. I'm very proud to represent Bethel Park because it stood up to provide funds for this important new firehouse. And the community is so generous with its contributions year in and year out, which will still be necessary. The state's got a grant program that provides just a little bit and is expiring on June 30th. The House has passed legislation to perpetuate it. We're hoping the Senate will act soon. But most importantly are those individuals who step up to be firefighters. They're our neighbors. Everybody growing up at some point or another dreams of being a firefighter. Every one of us. And if you can hear my voice, in Bethel Park, that dream can come true. Call, stop by, volunteer. They'll train you, they'll equip you, you'll learn everything you need, and you'll be serving your neighbors, just as so many have for so many years, to whom I say thank you.
Thank you, Representative Marr. Next speaker, State Representative Rick Saccone.
Thank you, folks. Wow, the people of Bethel Park have spoken. You said you wanted a first-rate, state-of-the-art facility for our firefighters, and man, look at this. I said I've been to the pyramids at Giza, but this is wow. This is wow. I just want you to know, look, as already been said, you have such great government here. You got a great mayor. You got great council. Your police and fire are top-notch. There's nothing else can be said for them. I thank all of them. You should be awfully proud of the accomplishments that we're seeing here today. And I just want to add, I'll end with adding to what our chaplain said. God bless this building and the firefighters that man it, and God bless the people they serve in this community. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Saccone. Our next speaker, County Executive Richard Fitzgerald.
Thank you. And just to echo the words of my colleagues at the federal level, state level, and firstly congratulate Mayor Allen and Council President Mowry, and certainly thank the men and women who serve without pay as volunteers in the community, and the fact that the citizens came forth and all worked together. The partnership of folks working together shows what can be done in a community and what you can build. Really, congratulations to everybody, and to see this great partnership is something all of you and all of us in Allegheny County are very proud of. Thank you.
Our next speaker will be County Councilwoman Sue Means.
That's okay. Well, I'm going to try to have brief words, but I feel really excited today because I just want to thank the fire department because it was formed in 1927, and my family moved to Bethel Park in 1926. So for almost 89 years, the Bethel Park Fire Department has protected our homes and our businesses. And when we hear the fire, we hear a fire truck or a fire alarm, we think, well, there goes the fire truck. But think about this. There are other people, families, children, husbands, wives, parents, thinking, there goes my son or daughter in the harm's way. And they're on their knees and they're praying. And I want to thank the families, especially for how they support the firemen. And I also want to say that Allegheny County supports the firemen as well, because the county executive, county council, and the fire school and CCAC are here to encourage people to become firemen, because if you are a fireman and serve for 5 years, you can enroll at CCAC and get a 2-year degree. So please, we're encouraging you to come and serve as well. And I want to thank the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Department again for all their work. And again, this program is called Fire Vest. So if you go and you look up Fire Vest, you'll see the program. Again, thank you and congratulations to everyone.
I just want to add to that the Fire Vest program, if you commit 5 years of volunteerism, you get a 2-year free ride to the Allegheny Community College. And we do have members of our fire company taking advantage of that. Our next speaker is District Magistrate Ronna Arnone.
Thank you, Ed. You know, I've been a supporter of this building and this project all along, and a proud supporter. The men and women of this volunteer fire company make our community great. This structure makes our community great. But it's not the structure, it's the men and women that house this building, fight the fires, and their families that are really what Bethel Park is all about. This beautiful structure embodies those people, embodies Bethel Park. The revitalization and the importance of community. They're all housed in this beautiful structure. And I just want to say that as we move forward in Bethel Park and see the revitalization of not only the volunteer fire company, but all throughout Bethel, the new building and everything that's going on, we all stand proud here today as Bethel Park residents to move forward in a progressive, positive manner and enjoy the wonderful community that we have because of the great leadership and the people that are behind me and these great men and women in this volunteer fire company. So thank you so much, and God bless Bethel Park.
Thank you, Judge Arnone. Our next speaker is Director of Operations of PCG Capital, Tara Trini. And just to expound on her a little bit, she is basically with Cool Springs. And if you noticed recently, and obviously you couldn't miss it really if you drove by it, is the Cool Springs has expanded tremendously. And they made a significant contribution to us to help build this fire station.
On behalf of Cool Springs and Brian Shanahan, I just want to thank you for having us today. We were welcomed into the community in 2013, and we've received nothing but amazing support from the council to the residents of Bethel Park to the fire department. And we are so thankful that we're able to be a part of the community and appreciate all the support that we've received thus far. We'd like to thank the men and women of the Bethel Park Fire Department and look forward to offering our continued support to make Bethel Park a great place to be. Thank you.
Our next speaker is going to be President of the Bethel Park Community Foundation, Dan Duff. And again, I want to say that the foundation has been a tremendous supporter of the fire company and also made a significant contribution to the building of this fire station.
On behalf of the 25 men and women of the foundation, we are very honored and pleased to be invited here today and to be a participant in this station in a small way in providing a substantial grant for fitness equipment because of the physical demands of firefighting today. A fire truck drove up Clifton Road last night in the 80-degree weather going to put on a lot of equipment, and I thought of, gee, I hope, they have all the physical awareness that they did, but we're very pleased to participate. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker is the partner in Pacheco Ross Architects. His name is David Pacheco, and I just have to say that, from the beginning, we met David and his partner Dennis Ross in Kansas City at a firefighters seminar on how to build fire stations, and they were one of the vendors and guest speakers and so on there, and they really impressed us with their knowledge of fire companies and building fire stations. They've built over 200 fire stations around the country. We thought we were going to have to work with an architect that we were going to tell how we wanted a fire station, and in reality they told us what we needed. So with that, I'd like to hand the mic to David Pacheco.
Thank you, Ed. Folks, we were in the home stretch here. I won't be too long, but first want to say congratulations. Through the foresight and vision of the municipality, of the community, and of the fire company, we stand here today in front of this state-of-the-art fire station. To make this happen, while I'm the person who's here on a weekly basis, there is a large team behind me of engineers, architects, and designers. I'd like to recognize just a few folks. My partner, Dennis Ross, who was the design architect on this project, Lauren Compson, who was our construction administrator back in the office, and last but not least, our project manager and my wife and better half, Katrina Pacheco. These are the folks who really help support me in the field here. And about 18 months ago, on a very, very cold February day, we all stood around and broke ground on this facility. And the following sentiments I'd really like to repeat again today. What we wish for out of this facility is many years of service, protecting property and lives in Bethel Park, and our sincere hope that everyone who serves from this facility returns to it safely. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Our next speaker is the owner of Tallman Construction, Tom Berletic. And I must say that we did not know who Tallman Construction was when they won the bid to build this fire station. His staff of employees, and we have Rich Watson here this morning, Scott Ekman, I don't believe, is with us, but these two gentlemen were the site foremen for us. These guys made sure that the work was getting done timely, properly, and again, the owner of the company, Tom Berletic, was unbelievably great to work with on this building, and really we were overly satisfied with his work and would recommend him to build any other fire station in this area. So with that, Tom Berletic.
Good morning. This morning I was thinking back to the groundbreaking ceremony and how excited I and my team was to get started on this project. And I can say that I'm equally as excited to be here this morning with all of you to celebrate the opening of this facility. I really think the most gratifying part of this project for me personally was the opportunity that we had to work with some really great people from the municipality of Bethel Park, the Volunteer Fire Company, and David from Pacheco Ross Architects. So I'd like to personally thank all of them for all of their hard work and efforts throughout the construction of this project. And I would really also like to extend my gratitude to the volunteer firefighters that do all the hard work and the efforts that they provide for all of our communities. Thank you.
And lastly, we have Miss Pennsylvania, Ashley Schmieder, with us. I have she's related, so we are. So I'd like to I have the honor of introducing her, Miss Pennsylvania, Ashley Schmieder.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for having me here today. Like Ed said, I do have a personal connection to this fire department, but I think that my connection goes so much deeper, and that's really rooted in the art of volunteerism. My job as Miss Pennsylvania affords me the opportunity to wear this beautiful crown and sash, and that definitely grabs people's attention. And I think this beautiful facility is kind of like the Bethel Park Fire Department's crown, per se. And although it grabs people's attention, it means so much more. And my job as Miss Pennsylvania is to be a servant leader, and I feel that all of you, men and women who serve this Bethel Park community, epitomize what it means to be a servant leader for this community. And I'm so honored to be here today, and I want to thank you so much for your service. And thank you to Ed for inviting me and for all that you do. Thank you.
All right, that ends the speaking session of this. Our next part of the ceremony will be our ribbon cutting ceremony. So if you would, we are going to have these folks step over here. And that will be followed by the pushing in of the fire truck, which goes back to the early days of firefighting when they used to push the wagons into the fire station. I'd like all the members of council to be up at the ribbon cutting. And also would like to thank all the school directors that are here today as well. We appreciate their support. After the ceremonies are done out here, we welcome everyone into the station. We have soft drinks and light snacks, and you can tour the building. Thank you.
We get a little tighter here. Turn sideways.
Yeah, turn a 45-degree angle and press it.
Okay, ready? Get them all? You're fine. You're fine. 1, 2, 3, cut.
Okay, we are going to do the pushing of the engine into the fire station. So if you would stand by first. Our volunteer firefighters will be pushing the the engine into the fire station for the first time.